Hello. Slight technical hitch. YouTube kept telling me my camera wouldn't work because it was linked to another device. So I had to power down, switch down, and do whatever I had to do, and eventually it came on. So here I am. Better late than never, I presume. Yeah. Hello. Hi, June. I had a slight technical hitch. The camera wouldn't work. So we'll see who else is in here besides you, June. It says there's 5 people in, but nobody's speaking as yet. So we'll see what happens next. Well, my daughter-in-law came back, so I was fast asleep. It's a good job she did come back because I probably would have slept through and not been here at all. Hi, Nathan. She frightened the life out of me because I locked up thinking I was on my own, and then the front door comes on. Well, I knew it was locked, so I knew that it must have been somebody with a key. So the doggies may disturb us after I said they wouldn't, so we may get disturbed by doggos. I'm relieved to be on here at all. It kept telling me my camera was not working because it was on another device, and I'm like, I haven't got another device. So I don't know who, why, what, where. Who knows? It was a glitch in the system anyway. Well, it's telling me I've got 13 people now on me live, but there's only 2 people talking to me. Is it something I've said why you're not talking to me? 14 people now and nobody's talking to me except Nathan and June. Oh, well, I shall wait and see who joins me. Meanwhile, I shall get me oh so boring crochet. Oh dear. Maybe I just can't see. Maybe people are talking to me. Maybe I just can't see. Oh, what have I got? Top chat. Live chat. No, there's still no more people in live. Oh, yeah, there is. Oh, June said hello. Oh, Amanda said hello to me now. Maybe they were just all being a bit shy. Hi, Munchkin Heaven. And I've got my crochet hook stuck in my boring blanket. Yeah, I was having trouble, Sandra. It just kept telling me my camera was linked to another device. And I don't know how. Hi, Yana, I'm she. Yeah, I'm doing a very boring blanket. Which, why people knit blanket, crochet blanket after blanket, I have no idea. Because this is driving me nuts. And I've only done 2 balls and I've got to do 10. And it keeps sliding off my knee, so I don't know how you manage. Right, how is everyone? I mean, I had said on my other video that I would be on my own, but my daughter-in-law's just scared the heck out of me by arriving home with the doggies. So we may get company. We may get Rosie. After I said we wouldn't get a Rosie, but now we might. I can't. I need somewhere to put me crocheting. It's a cat blanket I might manage, but how do you do big rows like this going across and across and across? How do you do it, Sandra? Because I can't. I've only done two balls and I've got to do 10. And now my wool's gone into the eternal knot. Oh, I made 80s leg warmers for one of my nieces once, many years ago. They were going to fancy dress. And they wanted me to do striped leg warmers, a la 80s, whatever, yeah. Oh, dear June, you sprained your ankle. Thank goodness it wasn't a break. Got to look on the bright side, June. At least it wasn't a break. Mind you, they say sprains are as bad, don't they? But they don't strap them up now these days. Hi, Connie. I've opened the drawer on my computer table. Now I've got somewhere to put my crochet. Well, how's everybody doing? Now I've woken up, I'm doing okay. Thank goodness I'd already put my makeup on. I'm sure the cat will love it if it's all the colours of the rainbow. Oh, I'm crossing up here. You mean your ankles are all the colours of the rainbow? I'm getting crossed up with the lady who's making the cat blanket. I thought you meant that was all the colours of the rainbow. I've just got to say the cat won't mind that. I've done baby blankets before, but this is just driving me nutty. I think I made the dog a blanket once years back. Well, it's my own fault. I decided to choose this stitch, which I don't know what it's called. People call it all different names. It's like in English, one treble, one double crochet. Not sure what that is in American. One double crochet, one single, probably. I don't know. Or something along those lines. A nice shade of yellow. Oh, you are joking, aren't you? Not my colour. This is the colour we wear to Harmony and Health for singing. And I went last week and we were singing outside and the wind was coming off the sea and I was flipping freezing. I had a fleece on, but it wasn't very thick, and my t-shirt underneath, and I was cold. So I decided to keep in with the yellow colour. I would make a blanket, but I don't think it's going to be finished for Tuesday. I think it's going to have to be a different colour blanket on Tuesday. But it will get finished eventually, I'm sure. Although, I'm supposed to be making things. I'm doing a craft fair with a friend of mine on November the 19th. But we are not doing big things because, big things just don't sell. We're going to be doing, Christmassy gifts, little things, headbands, arm warmers, stuff like that. We're going to be doing that sort of thing, yeah. So it's a bit more difficult crocheting with two strands together. Everybody calls it a different name, Sandra, I just say it's like moss stitch. I've heard other people on different YouTube videos calling it all the names under the sun. And everybody seems to have a different name for it. I've never actually kind of looked it up here. I've got one of those compendium books I've had for donkey's years, with 450 crochet stitches or something in it. And I've never actually looked it up to see what it's called. I just like the way it goes into quite a firm, doing all the same stitch like trebles. It might be quicker, but it's very boring, isn't it? At least this has got me thinking. I've got to put a treble over a double and a double over a treble, yeah, if you're in England. This is why I don't make patterns. I think English crochet. I cannot think American crochet. The number of times I've gone wrong reading a pattern from an American book. Because when you've crocheted the English way for about 50 years, it's very difficult to suddenly think that a treble is a double and a double. Oh. A lady once said to me one time, oh, hi, Michelle. Why aren't all the patterns in US crochet? I said, because we have crocheted just as long as you in Britain, and we use a different terminology. Although the new people learning to crochet in the UK have all been learning to crochet with American terms, so I'm on my own with this, yeah. Oh, I don't know what it's called, Nathan, I really don't know. In the UK, it's one treble, one double crochet, and then you alternate it. That's all I know. And this is why I do not write patterns, because nobody in the US would understand them. And half the people in the UK these days wouldn't either, because they use American terms. I think Nathan does. I think it all depends how old you are and when you learn to crochet. If you're as old as the hills like me, you would probably have learned to crochet the English way. And I think it's actually Australia that crochet the same way that I do. You know, and we all have to adapt. We have to start saying things like, well, it's a UK treble, but it's a US double crochet. Yeah, you see, it's our age, you see, Yana, Sue, it's our age. We don't understand the American. Well, it's not that I don't understand it, I have to think. And at my time of life, thinking is something, you know. Oh, I'm glad you can read the UK patterns. You know, it's just something that you the way you learn. And I mean, I knew nothing about American crochet when I learned, because there was no internet. American patterns were very few and far between. They never made it across the Atlantic or whatever it is. Across the pond, anyway. The only way I ever got American patterns was I used to have a magazine that came out, I think, twice a year. It was called Needlework and Crafts. And to me, it was fantastic. It was like a different world, because, you know, they had patterns in it that we never saw in the UK. But I had to really think, because I'd realised by looking at the pictures that the stitches were different. But I never really understood. And the number of times I made things that didn't come out right, because I was reading them with English, instead of reading them with American. I still got most of the book magazines, actually. They're actually in the shed. They're falling to bits now. They're very, very tatty. But I still love them. I won't part with them. I dragged them all the way here. Of all the things I got rid of when I came here, I did not get rid of those, because they were from before I got married. So they must have been in the late 60s. Maybe from 1964, 65. And my mum stopped getting them for me when I got married. I got rid of all my magazines, well, most of them anyway. I sold a lot of them on eBay, and I gave the rest to Sue. So they should be up in Scotland somewhere, unless she's got rid of them, which I highly doubt. She's probably got them somewhere. I couldn't bring them. I just couldn't bring them. There are so many things that I regret not having. You know, I even got rid of a lot of my patterns that I said I would never use again. And now you're thinking, oh my goodness. I see them on eBay and I want to buy them. Not eBay, Etsy. And I want to buy them back. Because I'm thinking, why did I get rid of it? The kind of memories, my memories. You know, it's just, I got rid of a lot of my, the shipping is, that's why I don't sell much to the US. That's why I say I'm not, you know, when I'm selling anything like that shawl, I'm saying I'm very sorry, but, you know, to send it to the US is just ridiculous. It sounds like I'm being very sort of discriminatory, but I'm not. It's just purely the postage. You know, you can post something over here for about £3 or £4, but to go to the US, you're talking about 20, which is a bit silly. Oh God, I hate doing that with wool. I am crocheting from the middle of the ball, by the way. Even though I had to fight with one of them, you know, the way you can't find the middle. But I always like to crochet from the middle of the ball instead of the outside. I was watching a lady at Knit Club the other day, and she was like, pulling this wool off. In English, Sandra, it's a treble and a double crochet. In the US, it must be a double crochet and a single, but you alternate them, yeah. It looks like, if you were knitting, it looks like it's moss stitch, yeah. I'm not surprised, yeah. 2 kilograms of yarn, yeah. I knew it was. I sent a parcel to the US, before I came here, and it cost me 70 something pound to send it, and it wasn't that heavy. Yeah. The coffin, touch wood, is getting better. I still have my coffin fits. And when I start coughing, I do cough until I choke, but they are getting fewer and, far between, yeah. So I'm hoping that it's finally getting better. Hi, Tammy. Although I have been invited to go for my 5th COVID jab, and I'm like that because it may be a coincidence, but since I had the 4th one, this is when all this started. So I don't know if it's moss stitch. I just call it like moss stitch anyway. Oh, $27 to ship it. It's ridiculous. It is, honestly. You could walk it, couldn't you? Or fly there. Hi, Granny D. Everybody calls this stitch something different, Granny D, so I don't know what it's called. I'm not suggesting it's called anything. I call it moss stitch, but that's probably not what it's called. Some people call it linen stitch, I think. Some people call it, I don't know. I've never actually looked it up because everybody has a different interpretation. I've seen many, many videos where they're doing this stitch and they all call it something else. Yeah? I think it's just do the stitch and make up the name. Yeah. But we shall see what we shall see. I just need to do a bit more on this darn blanket. It might be big enough to cover one knee by the time Tuesday comes. I should be watching the TV anyway on Monday because, of course, it's our lovely Queen's funeral. So I have been staying away from the TV because there's been a little bit too much of it. Much as I love the Queen, there's been a little bit too much. Every day it's been something, you know. The Queen this, the Queen that, King Charles is doing this. King Charles is doing that. Harry's doing this. Meghan's doing that. Blech. I've had enough. You know, I just wish they'd keep the petty squabbles to themselves and just get on with the funeral and have done with it. But we don't know what's going on because the papers like to agitate things, don't they? The papers like scandal, they like headlines. We've no idea what's going on behind those closed doors. They may have all been kissing makeup, you know. No, it's not got a chain in it, Granny D. No, it's not got a chain. It's definitely 1 US double crochet, 1 US single crochet alternating. So I have no idea what it's called. As I was saying, I mean, the newspapers here and abroad like to stir things up, don't they? Oh, Harry's doing this, Meghan's doing this, King Charles, I keep calling him Prince Charles. King Charles says this, King Charles says that. How do we know? Unless you're there, behind those closed doors, listening to the conversation, nobody knows what's going on. And I just wish they'd give it all a rest and let the poor Queen get buried in peace. This is why I've not been watching the TV, because I just really don't want to know all this tittle-tattle and rubbish that they keep spouting. You know, let her rest in peace. Ooh. Do you know, every time I do a video, somebody has to message me. And I bet it's something or nothing. Oh, it says I'm live. I know I'm live, I'm here. I bought a little tripod-y thing, but it doesn't seem to like my phone. And I wouldn't mind, but the sticky bit's falling off it already, which is a good start, isn't it? I don't think they glued it on with very good glue. Hi, Enid. Yeah, I bought it so that I could use my little phone to do little shorts or whatever, because I've got nobody to hold the phone and film me. So I bought this, but it just keeps falling over. It's not very much good. How do you stop yours falling over? I've tried tightening it up, but it still falls over. I suppose if you buy cheap, you get cheap, don't you? Well, I don't know why it's got little bobbles on it. It looks like you could extend the feet on it, but they don't. It looks like it's got a slider that you can make the feet longer. But if you can, I don't know how. No, I don't think it is. I think they're just there for effect. I don't think it extends. But whatever. I'm very good at spending money on useless bits of tat. Yeah. Yours topples over too. I got mine off eBay. Probably from the same source, isn't it, when all said and done? Well, if you watch my other video, you'll see I have finished the cardigan, stitched it up finally, and put the buttons on it. Yay! So at the moment it's drying because I wet it to make it flatten it. It's not really blocked out properly because the weather's not been like fit enough to put it outside to block it. So tonight was very cold. I actually put the heating on. Turn it off again now. We're supposed to be watching our, energy consumption, but I was so cold I couldn't stand it any longer. I can't do with being cold. Well, that reminds me, I've got my little gloves on underneath here. I folded them down while I was doing the dishes. I don't know what's in that washing up liquid, but oh my God. Makes my fingers itch. I did put some hand cream on. And no, I don't understand anything. I don't understand it at all, Munchkin, no. I think this is what they do it for. I think they do it to confuse the normal mortals. Unless you've got a degree, in mathematics and stuff like that. I don't understand it at all. I don't even understand the pension rise that some of us are going to get, whereas some of us are not. If you claimed before a certain date, you're not getting it, which I did. If you claimed after a certain date, you are getting it, which I think is highly unfair. I know we paid less into the system, but relatively speaking, our wages were a lot less. So relatively speaking, we actually paid in the same percentage. I mean, the younger ones are saying, but we paid in a lot longer than you. We paid in so many more years than you did. That's not my fault. I retired when I was allowed to retire. It's not my fault they've changed the goalposts, is it? So we're being penalised, are we, by saying we're not having this rise. Hi, BB. Sorry you couldn't. Oh, you had business, did you? Right. I don't know what the B80. I'm not very good at these, whatever. I've only just worked out LOL. When people use abbreviations for things in messages to you on the phone, and it takes me ages to work out what they've actually said to me. I've never moved on since, say with a loving kiss, swalk, what we used to write on letters when we used to do the snail mail. Oh dear, that's going back a bit. Nobody ever uses that these days. Oh dear. This blanket is already weighing me down and I've only done 2 balls in it. Wait while I get 10. Oh dear. Oh, we've got no Chris tonight. Where's Chris? Yeah, those were the doors, weren't they? And postman, postman, don't go slow. Be like Elvis and go man go. Yeah. Oh, the things we used to write. Yeah. I bet the postman were sick of seeing things like that, weren't they? But those days we used to write because the telephone calls were so expensive and you had to go to the call box and be at the call box at a certain time, to get a phone call. And then there'd be somebody hammering on the window saying, "Are you using that phone? I want to come in." Because in those days, we had a phone actually, but only because it was a business phone and we lived above the shop. Yeah. But I wasn't allowed to use it during the hours that the shop was open because somebody might be trying to call. Yeah. Nobody ever hardly did. I used to be an ink monitor, I'll have you know. I used to have to it was ink powder back in my day. You had to mix it with water to the right consistency. I mean, if it was too runny, it wouldn't write. But if it was too thick, and then you had to put it in the little ink wells on the desks. Some bright spark would have put blotting paper in the ink well. Yeah. Oh, you were the milk monitor, were you? I was the ink monitor. And I used to get ink all over me hands, all over everything. And my mother used to go potty because it wouldn't come out my shirts, yeah. Those were the days. I always used to finish my work before everybody else in class. I was a bright little bugger when I was young. So I think that's why the teacher used to allow me to be milk monitor. No, she didn't, ink monitor. Because I'd be sat there looking around, distracting everybody else because I'd finished, yeah. But everybody else was still humming and hawing over the questions, and I'd have done them. But I think that's why she used to send me out the room to be ink monitor, get me out of the way to stop. I mean, on one of my school reports, it said, "We see the more of the back of Janet's head than we do of the front." In other words, I'd be turning round talking to the people in the row behind me. Oh, hi, Juanita. How are you doing? I think I should have done this in Granny Squares, Enid. This is boring me to death here. And I'm only on my second set of balls. By the time I get to 10, I'll have lost the will to live. Oh, dear. Well, my friend's been waiting for her husband to finish the bathroom flooring for I don't know how many years, so you're way behind, Enid. You're listening while you're working. Oh, right, Ray. Okie dokie. You're not whistling while you work, then you're listening while you work. Hi, BB. I think Enid's husband is painting the Forth Bridge, as we say. In the UK, there's a bridge that when they start painting it at one end, by the time they get to the other end, it needs painting again at the other end. So when you say you're painting the Forth Bridge, it's like you're never ending, in other words, yeah. There's a team of workers, I think it's just their permanent job is painting the Forth Bridge. That's Forth as in Forth, not fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, just in case you're good on geography. Well, at least you got the bathroom. Oh, she's got the bathroom done. She just hasn't had the floor put down. He's done part of it, yeah. Yeah, the bridge is in Scotland, Forth, yeah, Forth, Forth. Oh, what have you done, Janet? You've gone wrong somewhere. You've gone wrong there. I put a treble where I should have had a double. Hey, dearie me. The Firth of Forth, yeah. Well, one of my shawls has gone to a place up in the Highlands, yeah. It's a little tiny place, it is. The main thing is Garve, Garve. But she's by the side of a lock. She's right in the middle of no place. And that lady bought my other shawl, not the blue one, the brownie one. So I hope she enjoys wearing it. The bonus room overhaul has been taking a long time. Oh, I think there's a divorce pending there, Enid. He's going to start all of that. Like, tell him to do one room at once. And when he's doing the master bedroom, I think I'd move out. Well, he does that. Well, you're lucky he wants to do it, you know. A lot of husbands don't want to. My ex-husband used to start things and it used to take him forever. I'd sleep in there on my own, Enid. I'd leave him in the bedroom on his own. Might help him to finish it quicker. I haven't been back in the shed for a few days. I need to go in. I need to sort out some stuff. I have little moments where I want to do things and where I don't want to do things. I mean, the weather's turning colder now anyway. So I might not be going out and about quite so often, you know, on my scooter because, you know, it's getting colder. I may be staying in a little bit more. But the trouble is when I shut my shed door, it gets a little bit dark in there. I've got a light in there, but it's only one of these, you know, these type of lights, yeah. It's not like having a big overhead light or anything. Yeah. So when I shut the door, it's dark in there. You shut the door to keep it warmer. But then you need the door open to see what you're doing. That's why I really only work in the shed when it's warm. But I'll have to go in and do some work in there. I really will. I need to find all my bits and bobs ready for the Christmas. It's a Christmas fair, but it's in November. Yeah, go figure. But, you know, I'm hoping to sell all my bits, bobs, hats, mittens, stuff like that. I've got a little electric sort of radiator that warms the place up quite quickly. But of course, with the situation with the energy bills and that, you're frightened of putting the thing on, aren't you? It's only going to go on. I mean, in the winter, it stayed on very, very low all through the winter, but this winter it won't be. This winter it'll just be getting put on when I'm in there. You know, I just hope the wool doesn't get damp, but the shed's pretty. I mean, I paid extra for the shed. It's not just a shed. It's one of those like waterproof, whatever, sealed unit thing sheds, yeah. Rock proof, God knows what proof and everything. I paid a heck of a lot for this shed. So we'll see how we go. It doesn't take long anyway to warm it up. I think I would be too hot if I had a pot-bellied stove in there. Although it would be handy, I could make myself a coffee while I was in there, couldn't I? Yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, there's a lot less than there was, seeing as I've sold a lot of it, but there's still a lot in there, yeah. But at least now it all fits on the shelf. Or it did, till I've bought some more. Don't tell upstairs. A lot of it's arrived while they were away, so I managed to sneak some of it in. Although we've got a doorbell camera, and they know everything that comes in through the door. Yeah. Yeah. Your lips are sealed, right? How much does it cost you? A rocking chair, coffee machine, and a mini fridge. I've got a computer chair, but it doesn't rock. Well, it shouldn't rock. If it does, I'm in trouble. And I don't have a coffee machine in there. I could take a flask, I suppose. You know, those heated flask things. That's, yeah. And a mini fridge, I don't think I need that because it's never that hot in there that I need a cold drink. Yeah, I should maybe take a flask of coffee in there with me. Then at least I can have a hot drink while I'm out there. I'm trying to make it more into a crafting space, so that I can spend more time in there and create havoc and mess and everything in there without, mucking everywhere up in here. Yeah. I've got my CD player in there, so I can have music. The Wi-Fi isn't very good, of course, down the bottom of the garden in the shed. So it's not like I can actually watch. But I've only got a tablet anyway. It's only about yay big, and you can't watch things on your phone, can you? Little YouTube that big. But anyway, the Wi-Fi is rubbish in there, and I'm not using all the data up on my phone. I only have a very cheap thing where I pay so much a month because I don't use my phone that much, so it suits me fine. But my little tablet works off the Wi-Fi for the house. What tablet? What do you call it? It's only a little thing. It's not a laptop or anything. But as I said, the Wi-Fi isn't that good in the shed, so I really don't get much of a signal out there. I mean, my bedroom is warmer than in here. It's freezing. It's the coldest room in the house, this room. It never gets any sun. It's really cold. And I've got the log burner in here, which will be nice when it's winter, but I was actually thinking, I've never had a TV in a bedroom. I just don't really believe in them. But I was thinking of having a TV put in my bedroom and sitting in there because it's warmer in there. Hi, Ethan. If the fire's not lit in here, I'm going to go in my bedroom. The conservatory is actually lovely and warm. But the TV's switched off in there at the moment. We're going through this phase of everything switched off. So I can't even watch the telly in there at the minute. The trouble is, you see, you can't have things that are on standby anymore. And the plug for the TV is like way where I can't reach. It's underneath behind all the units. If it was somewhere where I could switch it on, then that'd be fine. I could use it. And at least I could sit in the conservatory. But the thing is, the sofas in there hurt me back. So they're not the most comfy things to sit on. They're better than nothing, but they still hurt me back. Whereas I've got a recliner in there, but if I had sat in the recliner, I couldn't see the telly because the recliner's at one end and it's a very long conservatory and the TV's at the other. So I'll be like that, trying to see the TV. And there's no room to pull up the chair. like closer to the telly, if you know what I mean. So I'm just hoping that we'll have the log burner going in here when it's winter. They'll be all nice and cosy. The family are talking about getting another log burner for upstairs. Only a small one because their room upstairs isn't as big as this. This is the biggest room. It's huge. This room. It's massive. You can't see, can you, for all the rubbish I've got? But it's a long, very long, big room. Well, it's the biggest room in the house apart from the kitchen. And but because it doesn't get any sun. Now the kitchen gets sun because it's got a side window as well as a front window. But this was only got a front window, so it's cold. Should have checked that out before I bought the house because my other house was lovely. I got the sun on the back in the morning and the sun on the front in the afternoon. It was a lovely warm house. This house is lovely and warm in every other room but mine. Never mind. Yeah. If you didn't watch my other video today, I was in the Naked Sheep, which is one of the local yarn, wool shops, whatever you want to call them, in Cleves, buying this yellow wool yarn. And I got, hello, are you Jan? And I'm like, yeah, I'm Jan, yeah. She goes, I watch your YouTube. I said, oh, and I never asked her a name. Very rude of me. I never asked her a name. So she said, actually, I recognised your voice rather than, looking at you. So I thought, gosh, I must have a very distinctive voice. So I said, oh, like, do you live in Fleetwood? Thinking that I would invite her, to one of our knit clubs. And she said, no, I come from Leicester. I'm here on my holidays. So she was actually in Cleveland, not Fleetwood. She was actually in Cleveland on a holiday. You like the name of the store? We used to have another one called the Wool Loft, but that's sadly closed down now. So, and the one in Blackpool, we used to have Lolly's Little Wool Shack, but she's closed down. And then we've now got Mrs. Something's Emporium or something. Oh, what's she called? It's Mrs. Somebody's Emporium anyway. But I've not been in there. I've not been to Blackpool in there. And then I believe there's another wool shop at St Anne's, but that's just a bit too far. There isn't a bus that goes straight from here to St Anne's. You have to change and get off the tram at Blackpool and then get on a bus to St Anne's. It's too much faffing about. You're working on little flowers. I found my little flowers in the shed. And I've decided I'm going to put some of them. I'm going to make like a little cover for the basket on the front of my scooter. And I'm going to sew the flowers to the front of it. The reason I'm not sewing them to the basket is that when they change my scooter, I'd have to take all them off the basket, wouldn't I? So I decided I'd make like a cover for the basket, and then I can just take the cover off when I change my scooter and put it on the next basket. So that's what I'm going to do with some of the flowers that I got given. Originally, I'd asked for these flowers because I had a lovely decking in my other house. And I wanted something colourful so I could fasten on the upright struts that were down. And I got sent quite a few. Well, some were flowers and some were more like circles. And I found them the other day. I'm actually going to sew some of them together to make like a hanging curtain. You're getting close to the community. Which community? Am I missing something? Why are we talking about a community? What am I missing? Is it something in the US? So anyway, that's what I'm thinking of doing, but it will have to be for the door, because if I do it down the window, I'll have even less light, won't I? So maybe I'll make a flower curtain for the door. Who knows? But then Rosie will probably chew it, so I don't know. But I'm definitely going to use... Some of them are actual flowers. They're beautiful actual flowers. In fact, some were made by Eason. She put her label on them. The rest of them, I have no idea who made them. But Eason actually put her name on them. And so I'm going to sew them on. Like I say, I'm going to make like a crochet cover for the basket. But I need to go and measure it first before I can do that. So we shall see. Yeah. Our little Trixie's coming to season again. Hi, Kaz. She was only in season about 3 months ago. She came running in with her little knickers on, and I thought it's a bit odd. She got her little knickers on. Oh. I didn't think they came into season, that. What am I missing here? You hope you get it soon, Ray. Explain. I don't know what I'm missing here. What's this community I'm missing? Community tab. What's one of them? What is it? Tell me. Your community tab on YouTube. I'm still no wiser. Ah, when you get... Well, yeah. I never got one. I never got a community tab. I never got one. I've got a lot more than that subscribers. I definitely got one. Well, I didn't know I had one. You're all more with it than me. I wouldn't know I had one. I never had one. I wouldn't know what I'd do with one. Community. I haven't posted anything, no, because I didn't know I had it. I can post photos, links, and polls of it. Oh. Fancy that. See, you learn something every little day. It's like a Facebook. Hey, I never knew that. All this time I've been on YouTube, and I never knew that. Well, you see, you learn a little something every day, don't you? And I've just learned a little something. Oh dear, well, I'll have to try looking into that then, won't I? Maybe that's where I'm going wrong. I don't even schedule videos, as you know. I just post them as I make them. You know, I don't have... Mine are going live in 30 minutes and all that. I don't have any of that. Everybody else seems to do that. I just appear. Like a genie out of a lamp. I never even knew that, Ray. Never knew it. How long have I been on YouTube? And I never knew that. I'm not very technically minded. I really am not. Everybody keeps saying, oh, you go on Instagram, which I've been on Instagram. Or you go on TikTok. What am I making? I'm making a blanket for my scooter, and I'm hating every minute of it, Kaz. How people make blankets, I do not know. Oh, come off it. It's not a lovely colour. It's putrid yellow. But it's the colour of the harmony and health where I sing. So this is the reason why I'm making it. And how people make blankets, I have no idea. Because I haven't even worked up 4 balls yet and I'm bored. Oh, corner to corner. Now I would fall asleep. It might be your favourite colour, Nathan, but it is not mine. I do not look good in yellow. Oh, hi, Lulu. Oh, dear. No, I have to wear a T-shirt this colour, a hoodie this colour. And it's not my colour at all. Oh, you haven't watched my video from this afternoon. You want to see me wear my sou'wester, will you? My sou'wester's this colour. I am sick of getting wet. I can't wait until I can change my scooter next year and get one with a canopy over it because I'm absolutely fed up of getting blown to bits and wet through. So I ordered a sou'wester and it's come and it's yellow. Has to be yellow, doesn't it? But there was a choice of one colour, yellow. So I shall be wearing my sou'wester. I shall keep it in my... Yeah, I'm famous. People tap me on the shoulder and say hello. I kind of expect it when I go to places like Woolfest and things like that. This scene. What this? Oh, this is... If you watch Crochet Rocks, she was talking about this yarn. She was talking about Red Heart. I think it was Unforgettable or something that's being withdrawn anyway. And she was saying that the nearest we've got is the Boho Spirit. Well, this is Boho Spirit. I use a lot of it in different colours. But this is my favourite one. It's called... I think this is Festival. I'm not sure. But I love the Boho Spirit. Unfortunately, it does have a tendency to pill. You can see pilly bits hanging off it. It does have a tendency to pill. That's the only problem with it. But well, she did actually. I think she did actually say, excuse me. She just said, are you Jan? I thought, what have I done wrong now? Yeah, I love the Boho Spirit colours. I don't like the way it pills up. I probably could shave it off. I do cut the bit. I cut the big dangly bits off every now and again. I just pull them off because they just dangle. I think it's because my woolies don't last as long as everybody else's. Is because when I knit and crochet in them, you know, your hands constantly sort of doing that, and I think that's what makes it pill up even more. Yeah, I think it's Festival. I think this is Festival. They do a few. A lot of places don't do all the colours, but I think it's Wool Warehouse that do most of the colours. You can get it cheaper on different sites, but they only do about 6 of the colours, yeah. Yeah, I think this one's Festival. This is the one I did my granny squares in, you know, when I did that, the big jacket I did in granny squares. Oh, I'm just a boho woman at heart. Come the winter, my big boho skirts will be coming out because I wear my underskirt underneath and my tights. And I'm much warmer than I am with trousers on, to be quite honest. You couldn't get on with it. Why not, Nathan? Well, it's like some people don't like the Karen, the Simply Soft. But I've never had a problem with it at all. You know, crocheting with it. I mean, I found this ball in the shed, which is the Red Heart Super Saver. This one's Parrot Stripe. But I think it's got to be a hat if you haven't gathered. But I think that's lovely. But people saying, oh, red heart's scratchy, red heart's this. Red heart to me is just firmer than a lot of anything. But for something like a hat, it's brilliant, you know. It's a nice, firm hat. Yes, I have a San Andreas fault, as Z calls them. But you put it round the back, nobody notices. Yeah, I started making it, and then for some reason or other I stopped. But I need to finish it off. But I just had the one ball of the red heart in the shed. We can get red heart over here, but we pay probably something like about £7 or £8 for one of those. Whereas you can buy them for peanuts over in the US. When I see these videos and people go yarn shopping or something, and I'm like, oh, because they're like, it is over here. You see, we pay for anything that's American. We pay like import duties and God knows what duties on it, yeah. You got first billing on what? On what, Kaz? Your electric bill? Your gas bill? What did you get first billing on? Oh, Jane saying hi. Yeah, don't mention the dreaded electric bill, no. That's why we've gone round switching everything off. My son's drained the hot tub, much to my daughter-in-law's disgust. So he said until we get straight with the, you know, and find out how much we're going to have to pay each month, that the hot tub is off. I mean, I dread to think how much it costs because it's bubbling away all the time, isn't it, keeping the water hot? I know it's got a cover on it, but it still must cost a lot to keep it going, yeah. Yeah, my son said fill it with the hot tap. But then we'd still have to pay for the boiler, wouldn't we? So, and then it would go cold, wouldn't it? But at least 380. Oh God, that'd be about less than 350 over here, wouldn't it? It's all relative, though. I suppose you have to pay over the odds for anything that's comes from the UK, I presume. Yeah, I know. You just dread. You've got no shortage of gas, but it's not the kind that you can light in the fire, is it? Oh, dear. I mean, they're going to have to do something about it because people just can't afford it. You know, it's not just a question of, you know, turning things down or something. It's like a question of you can't afford to turn things on. I mean, I felt so guilty putting the central heating on tonight. And I thought, this is ridiculous. I shouldn't have to be cold, you know, at my time of life, yeah. That's June sending me a message. It's because the profit. Have you seen the profits that these electric and gas companies are making? They're making billions of profit, billions, which is all wrong when everybody else is struggling. I think it's immoral that we should make that much profit. But it's the same, isn't it, everywhere? Not just the gas and the electric companies. Every big company. Yeah, but when you go solar, you know, it costs you so much. Apparently, my son was talking about it. It costs you thousands for the converter thing. You know, you've got an orange twirl. Oh, right. Okay, Cass. If you have them from an energy company, it takes you about 10 years to ever get your money back. But if you pay for them yourselves, it's, you know, thousands investment, like, you know. So would you ever get your money back again? Yeah. It's 4 o'clock here. You need to do a couple of things. Right. Okay. We'll see you in a bit, Lulu. It's a lot of money to install them. You know, this is, I mean, we live so close to the coast. I said to my son, we should buy a windmill, you know. He said, I had thought about it, but you've got to have permission to put, you know, the pole up. People could complain, you know, about the wind, about putting a windmill up. I know when I had a CB radio, people used to complain about you putting up an aerial, and it was just a straight up aerial like that. People used to complain. It was my own house, you know. Luckily, I was lucky that my neighbours didn't complain. But I know some people have terrible trouble with their neighbours complaining about them putting an aerial up on the roof. They said it interfered with the TV, but it never did. We had an amateur radio ham when I lived with my mum and dad, and he used to broadcast over our telly. But yeah, every time they came to check him out, they had to go and tell him that they were checking him out. So, of course, he didn't do it, did he? He used to knock his power down. So they used to come in and say, oh, no, there's nothing. Oh, those prepaid meters are very expensive. You pay more for them, don't you? Because you've got to put so much on them that stays in reserve. My friend had one. She was forever feeding it. It was like giving a donkey strawberries, you know. I suppose they're good if you have people who leave things on, but a lot of people who live in rented accommodation, their landlord fixes the price of their electric and that. And when we get this rebate, they get it, the landlord, not the tenant, which I think is all wrong. But the landlord gets the rebate. I don't know whether I'm going to get a rebate or not. I get my usual, you know, because I'm elderly and nearly extinct. I do get a little my winter fuel payment that comes usually about November or December. They are talking about putting it up, but um, you know, by the time you read all the small print about who can get it and who can't get it, I don't know whether I'm on the list or I'm off the list. I don't know. Oh, I know. My dad used to say, it's not Blackpool illuminations in here. If it wasn't shut the door, put the wood in the hole. I feel like a dinosaur sometimes, Kaz. I do feel the cold, though. I can't help it. I feel the cold. I think it's, I never did when I was younger, you know, but I think it's a sign of you getting older, you know, feeling the changes in the temperature. Your AC fired up. Mind your Crochet rocks. She actually lives where she lives. She's quite close to France where she's living, the Isle of Sheppey. And she has air conditioning. And she's one of the only people I know in the UK who uses air conditioning. We don't normally get it that. It's 14 degrees C, whatever that is in English here. I wish they'd tell me in Fahrenheit because I don't understand centigrade. Hiya, Chris. Kaz was pining for you. She was saying, oh, no, Chris, tonight. She was pining for you. Have you been cooking your dinner? 57F, that's not very warm, is it? No wonder I'm cold. It was 12 degrees earlier on. I feel the cold, I really do. The bones of my legs feel the cold. They really do feel the cold. That's why I'm saying it's time to bring out the skirts and the dresses now, because my trousers definitely don't keep my legs warm. When I'm on the scooter, they don't keep my legs warm. Talking about feeling the cold, I'm going to get me my little blanket. This was my dad's car blanket. One of the things I've got left from my dad. Well, ours doesn't look cute when she makes a smell. You know she's not pretty, ours. Yeah, my legs feel the cold really badly. Down the fronts of my bones and my shins, I feel the cold. And if I get cold there. But when I'm on my scooter, if I wear my skirt and I wear a cotton, like a three-tiered skirt underneath it, and then I've got my tights on, then I'm nice and snuggy warm. Other people say, oh, why didn't you wear your trousers? And I say, look, I'm warmer. Because I think the air traps in between the layers of your skirt, your underskirt, and your tight. That's what I think. It's time to get my skirts out again. Time to get them out. And I've actually got 2 fleece dresses that I bought when the central heating was being installed here and the windows were leaking. When we first moved in, I bought 2 fleece dresses. They're like a thick t-shirt material, but they go right down to the ground. And I wear those in the winter as well. They're nice and warm as well. They are a bit long though. I tend to trip over them. Another reason why I need to get my sewing machine working, so I could just turn a little hem up just to make them just that little bit shorter, so I wouldn't trip over them. But they are so nice and cozy. I need to get some more thermal vests as well. I got some lovely thermal vests, but then I accidentally put one of them in the tumble dryer, and if you've ever put thermal in the tumble dryer, it shrinks. So I need to buy another couple more. Long sleeved, of course, ready for the winter. I cannot do with being cold at all. I've said before I was meant to be born. Oh, hello, Pacific State Northwest. How are you doing, Rick? Yeah, Rick into you. How are you doing, love? You okay? We're just talking about being cold. I can't cope with being cold. You're not too okay right now. Oh dear, I hope you're not poorly. I think it's the first one, Kaz. I think he's got the C. Oh dear, sorry to hear that, Rick. Yeah. I thought it was all going so well. Oh, I need to tuck my blanket round my legs. My legs are cold. I know you're probably all dying of heat over there with your air conditioning on, but I'm freezing here. Well, my legs are. He put a little something on one of my videos, a little comment, so if you must have missed it, Kaz. I'm not going to say anything. Oh, nothing like coming out and stating the obvious, is there? Did she give you a list of rules and regulations? Oh dear. So she just wants to keep you as a friend that she's going to see now and again. Still, it might develop. You never know, she might change her mind. Oh, thank you, Tracy. If you didn't see the comment, she just said he or she said I was fat. Hi, Deirdre. Oh, my goodness. Oh, and I'm ugly as well. Oh, that's so kind of you, Tracy. If you think you're bothering me, dear, you're not. We've had a troll. Been ages since we've had a troll. Somebody called Tracy said I was fat and ugly. But you see, when I worked at the job centre, I had a lot worse than that, so it don't bother me. Don't bother me at all. If they think it worries me, it don't. Tracy, just do your worst, love, because you know, I don't either. Tinker's cuss. What about anything you might say, love, so you're wasting your flipping time? Obviously, the kids are out again tonight. They must be bored. Nothing else on the telly or something, you know. Been a long while since we've had any kiddie winkies on here, thinking that they're being clever and smart and funny and yawn, yawn. They're being about as funny as anything. Nothing, I should say. But it's been a while since we've had any. Yeah, I used to get that every day when I worked at the job centre. They try to rile you up so you'll forget. You'll get annoyed with them so you'll forget that they haven't done the job search. So they used to say, you're fat, you're ugly, you're this. And you say, oh, so you've got good eyesight. Then in that case, you can go and read the job board, can't you? Takes a lot to rile me up these days. It's just one of those things, isn't it, people? One of those things. School's out for summer. Obviously, nothing on the telly, and they've run out. They've had the Game Boy or whatever the thing is that they use these days confiscated by their mum because they've been naughty. I've no idea whether Tracy's a girl or a boy. I think it's a boy into it. It's spent with a Y. I think it's a girl. It's EY in it. But you know, if they give a boy a girl's name, well, you know, it's enough to upset anybody, isn't it? Yeah. Ah, Everybody's gone quiet again. Surely you're not bothered by him or her. I think it's a him. So you're not feeling at your best, Deirdre? You've got having a COVID test. One of my friends who I go singing with, she's been really knocked for six. She's had COVID. She's been really bad with it. She's still not feeling good. Her blood work's still not right. She's got like white cells or something in her blood count. I know that means you've got an infection somewhere in your system. Somebody type something. I don't want Tracy's deleted message to be the last one. I'll type something. I'll type hello just to see if it goes on. Oh, and it doesn't, so something's happening. Something's happening. I don't know what's happening. Now I've got no messages at all now. They've all disappeared. All my messages have disappeared. So if anybody's talking to me, I don't know where you are. Maybe it's something to do with that dumb bunny. Yeah, well, I've got participants. So I don't know why I've not got any chats. My chats have disappeared. Oh, this is good. I'll be talking to myself. It's telling me I can create a poll. Create a poll. What can I do? No, nothing is showing up. Not even anything I type. Oh, this is brilliant, isn't it? Well, I don't know what you're saying to me because I can't see anything. Oh, this is brilliant. I don't think I can refresh because I think if I refresh, I think I disappear, don't I? Edit. What do I do with edit? No, don't want edit. I shall try to reload. People, if I disappear, you know why.